Hi all, Tim here. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men, like I put in a LinkedIn post not too long ago when I got COVID, kind of derailed some plans and announced the Proactive IT guy here on YouTube, and then life gets a little bit in the way, and work doesn't necessarily get in the way, but work gets busy. I'm prepping right now for a couple of presentations at Gartner coming up in Texas. If you can make the Digital Workplace Summit, March 17, 18, 19, in that week of March 17th. And then ServiceNow's Knowledge Conference, doing a couple of presentations there as well. I love that part of the job because I get to kind of spread the word on what's happening in the world of DEX. Get to those conferences if you're in any way interested in Proactive IT or DEX. I've got a couple of folks lined up to do a bit of storytelling and information sharing on their journey. But in the meantime, I thought I'd hop on and just put a little bit out in terms of the foundations of Proactive IT. When we talk about Proactive IT, what is it? What are the basics, right? Let's not complicate things too much. And I preach this all the time. Start easy. If you try to dive deep and do too much all at once, you're going to jeopardize your ability to succeed. I look at it in a couple of foundational items, 3 or 4 things, to then bucket your tasks or initiatives into. The first is turn the lights on and start fixing things. I think in my last video I mentioned our CEO basically said we do not have 30,000 people on the IT payroll. Find a different way. And the different way is turning the lights on. IT is in the dark. I've often said the only reason, and maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but the only reason, the primary reason, the help desk exists to begin with is because IT won't know about the problems employees are having unless they stop and pick up the phone and call the help desk. So when you turn the lights on and you can start to see what's happening in your environment, you get to see the full scope and determine what you're going to go after and how, based on information and facts and priority setting versus running around like a chicken with your head cut off, responding to all the tickets at the help desk. So turn the lights on, see what's broken in your existing environment. You don't need to change a thing for things to continue to show up as broken. So fix those slow logons, the slow boots, the application crashes, the hangs that happen in Outlook, the failed network connections, the blue screens. There are so many things on a daily basis that you can go after and start to automate and remediate before you do anything else. So job number 1 is turn the lights on and fix your existing environment. Job number 2 is to stop breaking it. Look at your release management processes, your change control processes. Get visibility into project management so you can actually do some valid testing and piloting and early release so you can see what your change is actually going to do to your environment and monitor it as you go. If something is not working as planned, stop, address it before you impact everybody. So for me, those are the 2 most important things in Proactive IT. Fix what's broken, and by proactive, it essentially means fix things before your employees tell you about it. And number 2, stop breaking it. One of the biggest frustrations for employees is when technology teams come in and deploy something inevitably breaks. And that's really one of the few things that IT can be confident about is if they touch something will break. It's part of the reason why projects go so slowly. They make a change and then they wait a while to see who calls the help desk and see who they broke. And then once the number is low enough, they get validation that they can keep moving. So there's plenty to chew on just in those 2 things. There's lots to keep you busy in terms of planning, bringing in other teams, collaborating with teams to tackle the existing environment, stabilize it, start to show some value not only to IT with reduced tickets, but also to the business because things aren't breaking as much. Once you've got stability and reliability in your existing environment and you can make changes successfully without breaking it, start to govern with automation. Look at things that change that you might not know about. Did somebody turn off a firewall? Did somebody start using a cloud application that you're not familiar with? Did somebody find a workaround to be able to install software? We've got horror stories about people using a Bitcoin mining operation because they found a way around some of the security agents. So look at and govern your environment based on what you're actually seeing on a day-to-day basis, and validate that nothing is getting out of control or nothing is changing without your knowledge. And if it is, you've got the tools in your pocket to be able to engage with the business and figure out why they're changing. They may be changing for a valid reason. Don't just shut it down. Go find out from the business why they may need a particular change. And that's kind of the next piece. This is all about technology, fixing things, stop breaking things, governing things, making sure everything's running, the SCCM clients functioning the way it should, antivirus is turned on. That's all the technology stuff. But DEX is equally as important. Proactive IT is equally as important to engage with the business and get their feedback and their sentiment. Start to understand how the business actually feels about the most recent change, the most recent application that they were asked to adopt, the last 3 months of remediation that has stabilized their environment. Are things actually getting better? We've got, I talk with people who use their tools and leverage them as an internal net promoter score. So get feedback from your employees and couple that with the technology pieces to get that well-rounded vision and view of employee experience, because it is more than just the technology. It's about the employees that we support. And it's you can even use your platforms and your proactive IT positioning once you've gained some kind of credibility. Not that we don't have credibility, we've got plenty of credibility, but let's face it, IT has some work to do in reputation, let's say. So once you've built up an improved reputation, you can now engage with the business in a strategic way and start to engage with them and partner with them in ways that you never did before. Partner with HR. Start to look at sentiment around corporate initiatives, the work from home or return to office or hybrid, whatever situation you may be in. Start to get sentiment and feedback, and even use data from employees to help plan some of those initiatives. And then you can move into some of the more advanced things around advancing beyond just SLAs into XLAs. Start leveraging an XLA methodology so you can commit to delivering a specific experience level, and then start to tackle automating, leveraging Gen AI, and looking to find the repetitive things where machine learning and automation can help you. Not going to dig into those here, and we may I'll probably get some other folks on to talk about their journey into some of those aspects of proactive IT. But felt like with a little bit of a gap in the action, I'd get a quick video out just to level set on when I talk about proactive IT, what is it that I'm actually referring to? Turn the lights on, start fixing things to bring relief both to IT and the business, stop breaking it, govern it, solicit feedback, and then start to expand from there into other areas of the business. But like I said, there's plenty to tackle just in those first couple of areas, and we're going to dig into some of the details and get some folks on to talk about their journey in certain areas as well. So hope it helps a little bit, sets kind of the baseline of what we're talking about in proactive IT, and we'll talk again soon.